Welcome to Blood in the Snow Radio, where we give you the latest news and interviews with the best in Canadian genre cinema. Here are your hosts, Robert Bellamy and Festival Director Kelly Michael Stewart.
We are back on the air with Bits Radio. I am co-host Rob Bellamy.
And I'm Kelly Michael Stewart.
Yes, and we are here with the filmmakers for Making Beauty.
In a secret backyard studio, a young artist attempts to beautify the world with increasingly savage results.
Yes, this was fun. I'll get you to introduce yourself and then your role in the project.
Sure. Hi, I'm Tammy Salzl. I'm the writer, director, and producer of Making Beauty.
Multiple titles. You can tell independent film there. And I noticed you're an emerging Scream, so this is a beginning, is it?
Well, it's a long, convoluted story. I'm actually also a visual artist. That's how I started out. I have my MFA from Concordian painting. But then I eventually branched into installation and film. And so I had made a bunch of experimental films, and they started getting into some film festivals. And then all of my work is still quite narrative, even though it's quote, quote, experimental. And so I took some script writing classes and some filmmaking classes in Edmonton at a wonderful institution called FAVA, Film and Video Arts, and wrote a script, and here we are.
Nice. Well, where did this story idea come from? I love the thought.
Yeah, it started from a drawing that I did. I'm really interested in the dichotomies and complexities of human nature and psychology. And so essentially this film is about the darker impulses that exist within all of us and the forces beyond our control that can bring those to light. And so, so it's about how do you manifest that in visual form.
Well, and the title I love because beauty is obviously subjective.
Right.
So this film portrays that beautifully.
Yeah. And how things can go sideways when your brain gets a bit broken, and yet you can't see that.
With the cast, and this is the part that I loved about it, it's a very young girl that's performing in there. How hard was it to find someone that could portray this for you?
So I put out a call, and I worked with a couple people in the film industry in Edmonton, and I put out a call, and Nellie was actually the first actress that reached out to me, and she was phenomenal. And she's been acting since she was 5. When she was 5, she starred in a movie with Sandra Bullock. And she's just a natural, and she was so professional on set and such a joy, and her audition just stood out. And so I just felt so incredibly lucky that she was in Edmonton.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And so are you based out of Alberta then?
Yes. Yeah, I moved back to Alberta from Montreal in 2018.
Okay. And how do you find the film scene now right now in Alberta?
You know, it's small but mighty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a close knit. There's more production companies starting to develop there. It's burgeoning, and it's good.
Yeah, I feel like it hasn't. It's just kind of like the fourth market of like the big ones, and obviously Quebec, Ontario, and BC are the big three, right?
Calgary has they're a bit bigger than Edmonton. They have
of course,
some big studios there, but
definitely. So I think there's more. So would you say there's more going on in Calgary than Edmonton?
Yeah. But the thing about Edmonton is you can tap into some really big talent that has made a decision to stay in Edmonton.
Right.
Maybe they get to be the big fish then. I'm not sure. But that's why I found David Barron, my cinematographer, who also mentored me and kind of also produced it with me. And he's incredible and has worked on some big productions. So.
Oh, excellent. Well, in the production itself, there's a lot of props. How did those come about?
Well, when it's your baby, you have lots of time leading up. So I'm an artist. So a lot of the stuff was made by me and one of my past students who's now a peer And so I've got her to help me make all of the props. So she made all the Ellie art. And a lot of it was, you can find some weird ass shit on Etsy.
Yes, you can.
And just taking that and playing with it and sort of manipulating certain
Making
things
it-
that people like to collect for reasons I'm not understanding. But yeah.
Making it beautiful?
Yes, making it beautiful and in a very Ellie way, yeah.
Excellent. With this, because I feel like there's so much more story there. Is this a bigger story, or is this a standalone?
You know, I get asked that. No, it's not a bigger story. I get asked also why it has an open ending. Like there's a lot of questions at the end, and I like that.
It's life.
So yeah. So no, for me it's just a one and done, and I'm on to the next script that I'm starting to develop. So, and we're just at the start of the film festival run, so hopefully we'll get to do some more traveling.
That is excellent. I know usually these things are calling cards. That's kind of why we always ask that. Do you plan to go further with it? But it sounds like, yeah, you're moving on. Like, do you have another project you're working on?
Yeah, I have another script that I'm starting to develop. It's about a woman with a interesting imaginary friend.
I'm hooked. I'm like those. I love those kind of stories.
And I guess thematically it sort of ties into this film in that it's also an artist. So,
Well,
except an adult artist.
It's the artistic people that
Yeah.
have that, imagination, I will say.
Yeah. The crazies.
It's obvious, yeah. English. How long did it take you to actually film? Like, was this a couple days or?
Oh, so I was very lucky. I worked with Eric Spoth was my first AD. And so knowing that it was my first kick at the can, we had a nice long stretch, so it was 4 days. But we had to schedule in the dog, which was a whole thing. That dog. Love the dog, but there's a dog. And as you know, with child actors, you're limited on how long the shoot can be. So,
Yeah.
and it was plus 35 in this hot shed in my backyard. So it was we were just dripping in sweat.
So, never work with children and animals, and you said, screw that.
And
I'm gonna work
puppets. Don't
with
forget the
both.
puppets. Then the puppeteers had to come in. It was a whole thing.
You just got all the challenges
Just got it
out of
all
the way.
over with all at once. Let's
You
just.
do it on the water now. And
That's the next project. Yeah. It's all on a boat.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you didn't get to do in this project that you had wanted to tell this story?
No, I felt really spoiled by
Yeah?
the film community that came around me. Most of my key collaborators are aware of through my art. So it was a really interesting walking both those worlds. And no, I'm really happy with how everything turned out. I have
That's
to
good.
say.
So many
I think
times with
I got
independent-
lucky.
Yeah, you got to make cuts, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish. So that's
No, you know what? There was a couple of hiccups, but David Barron, our cinematographer, always figured out a way to work with it and made it better than it would have been had we followed the script. So,
oh, excellent.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for not only being at Bits, but for being on Bits Radio.
No, my pleasure.
And,
It's fun.
I gotta wait now for this imaginary friend story because that's got me intrigued, especially after this short. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's great. Thanks.
Join us next time for Blood in the Snow Radio. Bits Radio is a production of Three Evil Cats Productions in association with the Blood in the Snow Canadian Film Festival. For more information and to listen to other episodes, visit bloodinthesnow.ca and tweet us at BitsFilmFest. Music by Jan Gorman, produced and edited by Kelly Michael Stewart. I am